Paid ads are not the magic bullet for getting unlimited traffic to your website. There is a better way that's free, and it's called content marketing. There is a reason that 82% of companies use content marketing to drive traffic to their websites, because content marketing is proven to get better brand awareness, to get better quality leads to our businesses, and increase profit because of content marketing's low cost. So today we're going to go over how to get unlimited website traffic for free. What we're going to cover exactly is how to understand your audience, how to create content that is guaranteed to get discovered. We'll cover the best types of content for you to focus on so you don't waste your time. And at the end, I'm going to share with you how to supercharge your traffic. And the best part is all of this is free. Let's dive in. Welcome to episode number 22 of the Profit Your Knowledge podcast. I'm your host, James Allen, here to help you turn your knowledge, passions, and skills into an online business so that you can be your own boss, do work that you love, make a difference in this world, and ultimately live a life of freedom. And hey, to help you get going on that journey, if you do want to build a life of freedom, one of the best ways to do it is to focus on creating passive income. So to help you accomplish that goal right now, I created a 5-step action plan or action guide that's going to walk you through how to get your first $100 or more in passive income. And I know it's not life-changing, but when you get at least $100, or it could be $500 or even $1,000, depending on what you end up building with this guide, when you get that first sale and it's hands-off and it's automated, you realize that you can do it again and again and again, 1,000 times over, 100 times over. And it's an amazing feeling. For you, really, you just need to know how to actually do it. And this guide will help you tremendously. So to get your guide, you can go to profityourknowledge.com/guide, or there's also a link in the description. It's my gift to you. It's free. It's in the description, first link. So let's dive in to how to get unlimited website traffic for free. I'm excited about today because content marketing is near and dear to my heart. It's an amazing tool to help us run our businesses and to get people to our website so we can ultimately make sales. The first thing we need to do is to know your audience. I'm not going to get crazy deep into building your audience, but basically when you start creating content, you start getting out there and you want to get people over to your website, and even being on your website, thinking about the design and the copy, the writing and everything on your website, the look and feel, all of it. It comes down to first knowing your audience. And that's how you're going to get quality people to your website and to your business ultimately. We don't just want traffic, we want targeted traffic, the right kind of people. And that's how content marketing is going to help us. But before we start creating the content, we first have to know who it is that we actually want to discover that content so we can create the right content for those people and bring them over to our website. Big question to ask yourself is, who do you want visiting your website? This is your avatar client, which I'm not going to dive into today, but you just need to think about, like, if you're a fitness instructor and you're going to be blogging or creating content of some kind, then who are the kind of people that you want to discover? The best way to think about this is like, what is the perfect person that you would love to help? What are their challenges? What are their frustrations? What are their goals? What are their desires, and what are the obstacles getting in the way of all of that? That's really what we need to think about. So if you're a fitness instructor and you're helping young men that are young, like in their 20s, to get ripped and get that six-pack, that person's in a very different state than like a 40-year-old woman trying to get in shape, or a 50-year-old man who's trying to get back into shape like they used to when they were a kid. Okay, so there's different stages of life, have different challenges and frustrations. So you really need to dial in, first and foremost, who your target audience is. I do have a blog post where I go over creating your avatar client, many questions and things that you can ask, and I talk about that on my channel. I'm not going to dive crazy deep into this, but you do need to first understand that. I'll even link one of those blog posts below that I wrote. The reason that this ties into content marketing is because we need to focus on long tail keywords. So keywords, there's a lot of keyword research you can do for SEO and things, like using the keyword website for this type of content. Traffic, website traffic, those are the main keywords. Long tail keywords are, how do I get website traffic for free? Okay, and that's an example of what I did in terms of coming up with this piece of content. So let me show you real quick and explain to you how to actually do this for your own niche and give you a little exercise that you can do as well. The first thing that we want to do is open up an incognito window. I don't know how to do this on PC yet, but you can look it up. It's super easy. To do it on a Mac real quick, you just go Shift Command N for new, and that's going to open you up an incognito window. When you're in the incognito window, you can open up Google or you can open up YouTube. Open up both of them. And the search box is such an amazing tool for finding great content ideas that your target audience would be looking for. This is how you guarantee that you're going to get great quality content that is actually going to get discovered, because this is stuff that people are actively searching inside of Google, inside of YouTube, which are the two biggest search engines in the world, with people constantly looking at it every single day. So I want you right now to think about, what would your target audience look in to Google? If they were having a challenge with something, what would they be typing in? Let's use fitness as an example. We'll say how to get into shape. And you're going to say how to get in shape. Now you have many different people. If you help athletes get into the best shape for their performance, you can type in how to get into shape. That's something that my audience could be looking for if I was a fitness instructor. And then you have these different keywords that are your long tail keywords. How to get into shape fast, how to get into shape at home for basketball in a month, how to get into shape for soccer after 50. Okay, so what if we clicked on after 50 and then looked even further? If you typed into the search bar how to get into shape after 50, you see all these different pieces, like how to get into shape after 50. That could be a keyword or a actual piece of content that you would create, because people are actually looking into this. It doesn't tell you the exact data of how much traffic is actually typing in this to the search function, but you know that people are, and that's all you really need to know. I'd rather have a smaller amount of real quality content than a massive amount of people that don't really care. I'd rather have that targeted content in a smaller amount. That's more valuable for us as business owners and for us being able to help other people. So, how to get in shape faster after 50, male, woman, 50 years old. How to get in great shape after 50. Okay, how to get in best shape after 50. How to do it fast. How long does it take to get into shape at 50? Okay, so these are many different options. And the cool thing is that we can do the same thing on YouTube. Now, again, the reason that we do an incognito window is because when you do an incognito window, it basically it treats you as a fresh user. So this doesn't have any data related to my personal search history because I'm not logged into my account. This is as if I was brand new to the internet. I'm a fresh baby looking into how to find things online. So on YouTube, you can do the same thing. But let's say, like, we can use this example that I did for today. We could say how to get traffic to your website. And right there, we have different options right here. How to get traffic to your website for free from Google without SEO. Interesting. From LinkedIn. So these are all pieces of content that I could create that I know people are looking for if I'm going to create content around how to get traffic to your website. Another great option in terms of Google is if you scroll down when you type in something, you're going to find this other section called People Also Ask. When you click on the three dots, it's going to say these are questions people commonly search on Google. So this is stuff that people are literally looking up every single day. And when you click on these different drop-down menus, these are the legitimate questions that people are asking. Can you reshape your body at 50? That's a piece of content. Can you get your figure back after 50? Is 50 too old to start working out? Now you can create this question as being your entire piece of content, or you could even answer multiple questions that you find in the People Also Ask section and put that into your content on social media, blog posts, YouTube's, podcasts, whatever it is that you want to do. Okay, how many times a week should a 50-year-old work out? Okay, these are all questions, and that's a great piece of content that you could create if your target audience was people over 50 trying to get into shape. Okay, so you can see the importance and the real value in understanding your audience. Now you understand how to understand your audience, what it is that they're actually looking for. Now we go into start creating content. The best content that we want to create are by far blogs and YouTube videos. And the reason is because blogs and YouTube videos are where people actively go to search for things more than social media. Social media is great for running your business, but if you want to get unlimited website to your traffic for free without a ton of ongoing work, I mean, content does take a lot of ongoing work, but it's not as much as social media. You don't have to be posting every single day, multiple times a day. It could be once, maybe twice a week, creating content, answering people's questions in the form of a blog post or YouTube video. YouTube is also massive for getting discovered online in terms of content because more and more people are moving towards video marketing and absorbing and consuming video content, really, which is why YouTube is oh so valuable in today's day and age. What we want to do is to basically just create content that answers people's questions in a fun way that fits their lifestyle too. For example, with me and my business, I make YouTube videos that are pretty long, I would say, compared to your average video, but also it's a podcast episode at the same exact time. So it's a video podcast that I'm doing here. And it's valuable for my audience because my audience is people who are working another job or they're doing other things, they're busy and they want to build a business on the side. And that's where this is really valuable because they can listen to this on their commute. They can listen to this while they're in the gym or cooking dinner. It could even be. And then I also make blog posts as well for people who just want a quick reference to whatever it was that I talked about in my content. Okay, so that helps me with my audience personally. And I'm also on the big 3 platforms. But basically, all those questions that we were finding about what your audience is looking for, that's what you're going to answer in the form of your content. So your content is solving those problems that you're finding with that research we just talked about. And when you create content, you want to always point people to your website, especially if you're on like YouTube, because if it's a blog post, you're actually hosting your blog through your website. So naturally, people will find you and go straight to your website. So blogging is an amazing tool for getting people over to your website for free, or for very minimal money, depends on what tools you decide to use. YouTube is totally free, but if you're going to get people over to your website from a YouTube channel, because YouTube is its own website and entity, you have to point people to your website in some way. It could be that when you start a YouTube video, you say, hey, this is James from profityourknowledge.com. Now people know about my website and they can be like, oh, that was a really valuable piece of content that answered my questions. Now I'm going to go look over at profityourknowledge.com. What is this? And then they can learn more about you from your website and what kind of products and services that you have to offer. But the best way by far to get people from a YouTube video or a podcast, for example, that's not really on your website, like a blog, is to offer them a lead magnet to capture their email address. According to HubSpot.com, the average time spent on a website across all industries is 54 seconds. That is a very short amount of time. And the thing is that when people land on your website, they're not going to hang out. They're not going to bookmark your page. Very minimal chance that they could. But basically, they're going to land there and then they're going to run away. And the best way to keep people in your ecosystem is to capture their email address. The way that we do that is by creating a lead magnet. I'm not going to dive into lead magnets super deep right now. I'm going to put an article that I wrote about lead magnets and capturing emails and growing your email list down below. But the 2 biggest questions you need to think about is when you're doing research, when you're creating content, getting feedback and understanding your audience and what you know about your audience right now, think about what is the biggest, most consistent and pressing problem that this person is facing or this group of people is facing. And then what is the fastest single solution I can give them to solve that problem. Let's say, for example, that you help people with optimizing their websites. We'll say that's what you help entrepreneurs do. So you help entrepreneurs, you know that bounce rate is a massive problem. So you create a very short guide or a video tutorial, and it could be how to resolve your bounce rate and then the benefits that come with that. That could be great if that is your audience. Another example is a guy named Greg Faxon. I've used this example in the past. He helps coaches fill up their client roster. So one of the biggest problems that coaches have is to actually find clients. So he created a short guide that's probably 3 pages long, and it's 25 ways to find potential clients or 25 places to find potential clients. It's an amazing lead magnet because it's irresistible. It's like a potato chip. You give that to people and they're like, that was awesome, I want more. And that's where they look into your products and services and things you have to offer. But it captures the email address, and that's the most important thing. Okay, you have to give people a reason to visit your website that benefits them and promote that in every single piece of content that you do, especially if it's a YouTube video or a podcast episode or even a social media. Social media post, maybe not as much, but like a YouTube video where you're answering people's questions. It's a way different dynamic than posting on social media. And that's not really the purpose of today. The thing I don't really like about social media, just real quick, is that they're always changing the rules and it's really fast. And the amount of organic reach has just dwindled insanely. It's like 3% of your post or even less of organic post, unless you're paying for ads, actually get promoted to people. So it's really difficult compared to how it used to be back in the day to get discovered through social media. And then you have to bring people over to your website too, on social media. But that's why YouTube channels are such an amazing tool, because it is a search engine. It promotes and wants its creators to thrive. YouTube just really works at giving creators the best chance of winning compared to like social media and Mark Zuckerberg and all those different social media platforms. So I'd highly recommend focusing on YouTube and a blog in particular. You can do a podcast, but I would couple that with YouTube videos or couple it with blog posts as well. So people can have a couple different ways to consume that content. Okay, but make sure that you're collecting an email address with that lead magnet as well, because that's how you really get people to your website and then capture them so they can stay with you. The content marketing is what pulls them in. So let's talk about real quick how to supercharge your traffic over to your website totally free. This is an amazing practice. It's an amazing tool. It's going to help you grow your email list. It's going to help you get more traffic. And ideally, the point is to build that email list. So I would say create that lead magnet first and then start creating content and pointing people to pick up that lead magnet. Guest posting is the best way to organically, totally free of charge, supercharge your traffic. And in 2023, I'm going to be focusing a lot more on guest posting and having guests on my show, but also, getting on other people's shows as well. And this is my strategy that I'm going to be putting into play in 2023. And I'm going to share it with you because this has proven to work. I've learned it from my coaches and learned it from other people. I've looked into guest posting, all this stuff. So here's my strategy that I want you to consider taking up for yourself. What we're going to do is create a list of 10 to 20 collaborators. Create a list of 10 to 20 collaborators in a Google Doc. Make sure they're in your niche or in a very subsequent niche. And ideally, you want them to have a larger audience than you do. When you create that list, the way you can create this list is by just typing in blog or like best blogs or on whatever your niche is, best blogs on this niche, on building your online business or passive income, or best blogs on weight loss or sports psychology, things like that. So you just want to think about things related to what it is that you have to offer and an audience that is similar to yours, but someone else who's already built that audience. That's really what we're doing with these 10 to 20 collaborators. When you have that audience or that list built up of 10 to 20 collaborators, now what we want to do is start to study each one of them. So read their blogs, consume their content, listen to their podcast, make sure that it is truly aligned with you. And when you have that 10 to 20 people of just real quality, you're like, I would love to be on these people's show or have them on my show even. That's a great practice too, is if you have a podcast, bring them onto yours so you gave them an opportunity to share your stage. And then you say, I'd love to be on your show too. You guys have already built a relationship and then you can go over to their show and now everybody's winning basically. When you study each person, you do your homework about this person, what they find valuable, their mission, everything. And you say, I know that I can bring value to this person and this person's audience ideally. Come up with 3 guest post ideas for each person. It's going to take some work, but come up with 3 guest post ideas and just pitch them over to the person and ask them if they would be interested in collaborating with you. The goal here when you send an email or a social media response or call them, or I don't know how close you are with this person, but when you reach out to this person, keep your focus on the benefits that you can bring them and their audience. That's the most important thing, because it doesn't really matter if you just have really great ideas. You can always share that. Like, I just think I can bring a lot of value to your audience, but come up with as many ways as you can to bring value to them. Sometimes people are in a really big position and coming up with content, they just talk to them about everything. I've been doing it for 10 plus years. And they're like, I don't really know what else to create. So you can connect with these people and just say, hey, I have some blog post ideas. And sometimes you just having ideas for them that sound relatable to their audience and whatever it is that they could create, to have a fresh perspective when a new person come through could be really beneficial for them. So just make sure that your emails, everything is geared towards the benefits that you can bring them and their audience. It's not about you, it's about serving these other people. And in return, you're going to end up getting a lot of website traffic to your website. Totally free too, which is amazing. But it will take work. So it's free in terms of money, but also in terms of time, it's going to take some work. Okay. But that's really my mission that I'm going to be taking in 2023. And I highly recommend you pick it up as well if that resonates with you. But guest posting is an amazing way to build relationships with new creators and collaborators in your space. Don't think about it as competition. These are people that you can connect with, and you can serve even more people than just you doing it by yourself, by connecting with people in the same space, leveraging their bigger audience. Sometimes you're the thing that other person really needed to help them, okay? And that's really the point of what we're doing here. Guest posting is amazing for that. So the biggest 3 takeaways that I want you to take from today is, first, know your audience. Study the long tail keywords, create content, specifically blogs and YouTube videos. Could even be a podcast, but ideally focus on blogging and YouTube because that's where people are actually actively searching for things. And create content, answer those questions that you're finding in the search functions like I showed you how to do, and also the people also ask sections. Okay, but that's really all that we're doing. Just focus on creating content, serving up people through the internet. That's really the point. And then if you really want to supercharge that content, connect with people that are in your space but have a bigger audience than you, and that's where guest posting comes in. It can be blog posts, it could be being a guest interview on someone else's podcast or a YouTube channel as well. Just collaborate with people and get in the mindset of collaborating to get your message out to a bigger audience. And of course, always have a lead magnet, so when people do come to your website, you can capture their email address and keep the relationship going through your email marketing efforts. There's a link in the description again for a blog post that I did on that. So that's all I really got for you today. I hope this kind of opens some ideas up to you about guest posting or about the importance of content marketing just in general, finding different content ideas. If you are interested in creating passive income, you want to earn at least $100, could be $500 or even more in passive income, and you just need the roadmap on how to do it, do consider picking up my 5-step action plan, because it's going to walk you through how to get that first $100 or more in passive income online. And then again, when you do it, no feeling like it, you realize I can do this again and again and again. And it's a really cool feeling. It gives you a lot of power inside of yourself, a lot of motivation, and then you can start seeing the money coming through, especially with all of this newfound traffic that you're getting from guest posting, from posting, answering people's questions online. And we talk about lead magnets, all that stuff is inside of the guide. To get the guide, just go to profityourknowledge.com/guide, or again, there's a link in the description. It's my gift to you. It's free. It's in the description. Let me know if you got a takeaway from today's episode down in the comment section. Do like this to show me that it was valuable for you. I always appreciate that. And if you have any questions, of course, just let me know down in the comments. Take what you learned here, get out there, start building your online presence through content, answering people's questions, and specifically your target audience's questions, and focus on collaborating with people that seem to be your quote unquote competition, because they're not competition. They're people that you can connect with, that you can grow together with and make an even bigger impact in the world. And I gave you a roadmap on how exactly to do that. Hope you have a great day. I will see you in the next one.